The polls are set to close within the next hour in Portugal's general elections today. Voters are choosing their representatives in the country's 230-seat assembly. As of Friday, the latest polls gave the ruling coalition of Prime Minister Pedro Passos Coelho a lead of between 5 to 12 points over center-left socialist opponent Antonio Costa. Like Greece, Portugal has been forced to endure painful austerity measures at the hands of European financial institutions, and Costa has centered his campaign around his opposition to these measures.
I rarely vote, but this time I thought it was important to do it because, as a matter of fact, the invalid votes and abstentions have also led the country to the crisis. People are more and more losing hope, avoiding the vote. At least that is the case this time.
Russia has continued airstrikes in Syria. According to a statement today by the country's defense ministry, planes have flown 20 sorties and struck 10 Islamic State targets in the past 24 hours. Aerial footage released by the ministry on Sunday showed operations south of the northwestern Syrian town of Idlib. The death toll from the recent mudslides on the outskirts of Guatemala City has reached 74, with another 350 people believed missing. Rescue workers have been using shovels and pickaxes to recover more bodies from the rubble of the collapsed hillside.
Political leaders of the LGBTI community of Latin America and the Caribbean held a meeting in the Honduran capital to discuss the challenges in each country and the possible alliance in the region to continue the advance in the recognition of the rights of all citizens without being judged on their sexual preference.
More than 300 people have come together, all of them members of political parties. Many of them have been candidates. Others are currently in office in their countries. There is also a strong representation of civil society that understands the rights of the LGBT community and the importance of their political participation to work towards advancing the agenda of equality.
Honduras is currently the most dangerous country of the continent for the LGBTI communities, with more than 70 assassinations since the 2009 coup d'etat without any investigation. Since then, the political participation of this community has increased, but there is still much to do, not only in Honduras, but in all Central America.
In Central America, we have not yet achieved the wave of the advances that have occurred in South America. We haven't yet achieved recognition of the fundamental principles such as equality in the eyes of the law, that we are all the same, and that no one should be discriminated by no reason. For many years, homosexuality has no longer been considered a disease, but instead as an expression of the human sexual nature.
We can see how others from other countries have participated and have been elected, and we still have to continue in our country in political inclusion and to continue to improve the laws of the region.
The meeting is the second ever, and it looks to become the regional space to coordinate actions that could help to leave discrimination and homophobia behind. Gerardo Torres, Telesur, Central America.
Of La Paz is Mount Illimani, considered one of Bolivia's most sacred mountains. Named in Aymara, one of the native languages of Bolivia, it's a much-loved symbol for the indigenous people. But if you speak Aymara and want to have a chat on Facebook, you're limited because the social network doesn't class it as a full language. Now, a passionate group of unpaid volunteers from a group called Aki Aru, which means language of the people, are working to change that.
We are translating more than 24,000 words, and within 3 months we hope to finish all of the translation.
Facebook set the limit of 27,000 words, so Aymara could be considered a full language on the site. Translators often spend up to 10 minutes discussing how to translate just one word, and with thousands of new words to choose from, it takes a lot of time and patience to get right.
It's hard to translate some words, but we love Aymara language.
1.3 million people speak Aymara in Bolivia. The group says this project is a source of pride for Aymara speakers around the world.
They say, hey, that's my language. My parents speak that language. And so I want to learn or remember this language.
With just 3,000 words left to translate, they hope to finish the project by Christmas. Facebook says if the group can translate 90% of the Spanish words into Aymara, they will designate it as a formal language. This is good news for Bolivia's native Aymara speakers. Soon they could be choosing to kusawa, or like something they see, on the social network. Dimitri O'Donnell, Telesur, La Paz.
Israeli troops wounded the Al Mayadeen journalist Hana Mohammed Sunday while she was attempting to report on the killing of Palestinian youth Fadi Alon by Israeli forces. Mohammed was hit with fragments from a bomb thrown by Israeli troops outside of the home of the family of Alon.
إحدى القنابل التي أطلقتها قوات الاحتلال في هذه الأثناء قد أصابت الزميلة هناء محميد وطبعا نتمنى لها السلام.
Facts that have marked the course of history. Productions designed in the English language and made for the English-speaking world. This is Documentary. Watch it on telesur.net/English. Telesur, wherever the news, you'll be there.